Take a quick listen to this and see if you can figure out what she's trying to say.
Believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings, that are undermining their own enforcement.
So you're saying the Biden administration should ignore this court, but what does that look like? What does that actually mean?
I think the interesting thing when it comes to a ruling is that it relies on enforcement. And it is up to the Biden administration to choose whether or not to enforce it. I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling.
Now, most of you could parse through that word salad and figure out that she said the quiet part out loud. She is saying that Biden and de facto Democrats in general can and should ignore any court rulings that they don't like. Now, many of you know that our government is set up to have 3 branches of government to provide control. Checks and balances, so we don't fall prey to tyrants. When one branch of the government can just ignore the other branches, that is what's called, can't think of the word, insurrection or treason. That, just in case you were wondering, is an impeachable offense. Now, the only problem is that one side of the political party will do whatever they want. They break rules, they ignore laws, they prosecute their rivals. And the other half, well, they do nothing. They haven't protected gun rights. They haven't protected women's sports. They can't even protect bathrooms. They're useless. Guess who's going to win that fight? Now, at this point, I've already made up my mind. I definitely will be voting for Trump in the next presidential election. And if the Republican Party somehow finds a way to prevent him from running, I'm just going to write his name in. I don't care. But if Trump is taken out, or he's not running for some other reason, I promise I will vote for the absolute worst Democrat candidate that I can find. I will vote for anyone who is the most woke. I'll find the candidate who wants free education, free health care, war with Russia, war with China. I want that guy or girl, just so we can get this over with and finally start over. The simple reason is, at this point, you can't vote your way out of this. And peaceful divorce probably isn't going to happen. So this may be the best solution, is just break it as fast as possible. Rip the Band-Aid off and start with a clean slate. Now, your first reaction might be to disagree, and you want to fight and save the country. Well, listen, another 20 years of losing a few rights here and then a few freedoms there until they're completely gone is going to be torture. Just get it over with.